You're listening to the MTG Sold Weekly Podcast. This is the week of June 15th to June 21st, 2026. Hey everyone, big week. 1,043,723 in TCGPlayer sealed revenue on 7,004 units, up 34% on revenue and 21% on volume. Marvel Superheroes is the reason. The Play Booster displays alone moved 1,472 units, highest single product weekly volume we have tracked. And the Collector Booster moved 603 units. Between all of the Marvel SKUs, the set accounted for roughly 60% of the week's total revenue. Daily flow ran 937 to 997 Monday through Wednesday, jumped to 1,090 Thursday, and then spiked to 1,343 on Friday when pre-release events started and held elevated through the weekend. There's a lot to get into with this week's headlines, so let's jump into it. The Commander decks won, and it was not even close. 4 Marvel Commander decks, all 4 gained 14% or more, but the sell-through on 2 of them is something I genuinely do not think I've seen before in this data. Starting with the Avengers Assemble deck, it posted a positive sell-through ratio of 3.86. Supply collapsed 51% to 41.8 average quantity. 161 units sold at $75.80. I want to sit with that for a second. 41.8 units of average listed inventory, nearly 4 times that selling in a week. That is not a type product. That is a product that is almost gone. If you're a seller sitting on copies of this deck and you haven't repriced yet, I do not understand what you're waiting for. Doom Prevails is at a positive sell-through ratio of 3.15. Supply down 45% to an average of 54.6 units. Volume weighted average price up to $115.97 on 172 units across 171 orders. Almost entirely single copy purchases. This is the most expensive Marvel Commander deck and is draining fastest by volume. That combination usually does not last long. Fantastic Four gained 14.1% to the tune of $68.80 on 65 units. Supply only contracted 7.6%, so sellers actually grew in this case. This is the healthiest of the 4. The price moved on demand, not on supply evaporation. I like this one as a hold. Then there is Wakanda Forever at positive 56.6%, which I know looks like the headline, but volume dropped from 210 to 27. I'm not going to build an argument on 27 units. This obviously is probably a bad data artifact. The volume weighted average price is real, but the sample is not. The 14% moves on Doom and Avengers on the 160 to 170 units tells you more. My actual opinion on the Commander tier, Avengers Assemble is going to reprice again. The gift bundle did this exact thing a few weeks ago. Supply pool shrunk below 50, sellers thinned out, and the volume-weighted average price jumped 34% in 1 week. Avengers Assemble is at 41.8 average quantity with 7.9 sellers. The math is the same. Either a restock arrives or this goes to 90 plus. The commodity tier is doing something counterintuitive. So play boosters are down 5.5% and collector boosters are down 5.3%. Pre-release packs are down 10.7%. So it sounds like the set is softening. It is not. The collector booster display pulled back to $482 and posted a 2.8 sell-through ratio. Supply grew 20%, sellers grew 49%, and demand still nearly tripled the available inventory. I think the $482 dip is a buying signal, not a warning sign. A product does not pull back 5% while nearly tripling its absorption rate ratio if demand was weakening. What happened is the restock hit, cheapest new listings got eaten, and the market is digesting the new supply at a slightly lower price. That is healthy. The Play Booster display at $128.34 moved 1,472 units on 798 average supply. Sell-through ratio of 1.84. The price softened and the volume doubled. If you told me a product's price dropped 5.5% and I had to guess whether demand was increasing or decreasing, I would guess decreasing. But 1,472 units is not decreasing. That is a market that wants this product. The pre-release pack got flooded. Supply up 85% to 599. Sellers more than doubled as event stock hit the channel. Sell-through is still positive at 1.21. Even through that flood, more products sold than sat on shelves. I expect this to stabilize once the event stock works through. So the pattern across Marvel is this. Distributors restocked the volume products hard, prices adjusted, and the demand absorbed nearly all of it. Commander decks did not get restocked at the same rate. Their prices climbed 14%. The market is sorting Marvel into two tiers, and I think that's going to continue. Scene boxes are the one missed though. I want to flag these because they are the only Marvel products where the demand story breaks. Villains Unleashed had a negative 22.2% on average price sell-through. Sell-through was 0.06, average quantity 492. Heroes United posted a minus 10.7%. Sell-through ratio of a 0.10. Average quantity 459. Sellers growing, supply growing, nobody is buying these. Every other Marvel product has demand. The scene boxes do not. At 460 to 490 units of supply moving, 31 to 44 per week, I think these drift below $35 before anyone starts caring. If you're holding scene box inventory, the data is not on your side right now. I also want to do one more call out for Marvel products regarding Jumpstart. So we all know there is a Jumpstart delay. The Jumpstart booster display posted a sell-through ratio of 2.23 on 198 units at an average price of $114.45. Despite WotC delaying the official release, supply grew 30%, sellers grew 45%, and demand still doubled the available inventory. I don't know where this stock is coming from. Maybe pre-sale allocations, early shipments, something else. But 198 units on 2.23x ratio on a delayed product is a strong demand signal for whenever it does fully release. Jumping into some follow-ups from last week. The first one up is the Chocobo bundle. $292, up 4.9%. Supply flat at 98. Fourth week tracking this. Thesis resolved. Supply thinned. Sellers dropped below 50. Price repriced from 239 to 292. Over 3 weeks and held. I'm retiring it from the podcast. It did what I said it would do. The second thing follow up on, the Strixhaven bundle. Down 3.3% to $42.65. The decline keeps slowing. At minus 13%, then 10%, now minus 3%. Sell-through improved to a positive ratio of 0.5. I think the low 40s is the floor. One more week of data under 5% decline, and I'll call it settled. Duskmourn, Endless Punishment. Oh man, I've been talking about this for a while now. Average quantity down to 28.3. Sell-through ratio of 0.74. Price up 3.7% to $188. 5 straight weeks of contraction. Nobody is talking about this product, and that is usually when the price moves. At $28 average quantity on a $188 commander deck, one good buying week makes a visible dent. And for the last follow-up, the Tarkir deck, Timur Roar, positive 10.7% to the tune of $75.97 after I flagged it at 0.95 sell-through 2 weeks ago. Currently, sell-through dropped back down to 0.37 with supply flat. So the compression was probably a 1-week event, but the reprice stuck. Moderate confidence. Jumping into the geography segment, Washington's back to number 1 at 11.6%. That is the Seattle area at 10,363 units. South Williamson, Kentucky at number 2 with 5,611 units. And a newcomer, Bayamon, Puerto Rico, entered at number 7 with 2,640. When a small town holds that much sealed product, it's one operation worth knowing for concentration awareness. Alrighty, everyone's favorite part of the podcast, what to watch next week. So, Marvel release, the full release is June 26th. So, this is probably going to be geared a little towards that, but let's jump into it. Number 1, Avengers Assemble at 41.8 average quantity and a positive sell-through ratio of 3.86. Either restock arrives or this reprices sharply. Doom Prevails at 54.6 is close behind. 2, Collector Booster. I think $482 is a dip, not a ceiling. If sell-through stays above 2.0 next week, I'm right. If the release week supply wave pushes it below 1.5, I'm wrong. 3. Scene boxes, Marvel. I expect sub $35 unless demand picks up. It might. Full release does bring casual buyers, but the sell-through has to improve from 0.06 to 0.10 or the price keeps drifting. And for lastly, I'm third or fourth week calling this out. Duskmorn, Endless Punishment at 28.3 average quantity. If it drops below 25, this is the quietest crunch in the data. Anyways, that's it. Numbers are on their full report on MTG sold. See you next week.